For us, everything we do is grounded in relationships. It's the starting point for everything. So when we now have the language of flight with a practice of relationships, which puts us as co-learners and co-researchers and co-imaginers of possibilities, when we look at a practice of relationship, educators with children or children with children, we can clearly talk about how we co-learn alongside children and how children co-imagine with one another. It gave us an opportunity to truly and authentically learn together, to explore the document together, and that actually supported me in my leadership role. It gave us words that we could use, so we were all starting to have the same conversation. That for us strengthened the work of Jasper Place, but it also, I can see, strengthened the early learning and child care sector as a whole. It brought us together in a place where we can have conversations, bigger conversations, but we're all using the same language.
I'm there to be a co-learner, co-researcher, and co-imaginer of possibilities with the educators. Through the co-inquiry cycle, we explore different aspects of the curriculum. It's about looking at things we do daily through the lens of flight. It's about how we look at children, how we look at families through that lens of the image of the child, or practice of relationships, or the dispositions to learn, or the holistic goals. You look at children, and I look at the educator through those lenses. So then it's that parallel practice that we have.
Having the advantage of working with Flight for a number of years before the second program opened actually positioned us quite well. We had done a fair bit of collaborative work with educators, so a lot about a practice of relationships, lots about creating responsive environments. And when I think of responsive environments and starting that new program, we were also able to understand what a responsive environment for an educator looks like. So that's where we talk about parallel practice. When we look at responsive environments and time and space and materials and the way people participate, we could also see if we create thoughtful environments for educators where they have time and space and the materials that they need to come together to participate in growing their lifelong learning. It was very helpful.
Giving that freedom to children to choose their own materials is a big thing for them. At our center, we follow very natural way of working with children and providing all the natural materials to children, which we feel that help us a lot to investigate the hidden interests of children. We have very open and free outdoor spaces where children love to explore and they love to run and play. And yeah, we love to provide natural materials to children where they are free to learn and grow. In our room, we have big windows, and we hardly turn on the lights of our room, and because we let the natural light come into our room. Because we have investigated that whenever we turn on the lights of our room, the energy of children gets really affected. So we use natural light in our room, and whenever the lights are turned off, children automatically feels very calm and they are into themselves. So yeah, we have lots of natural materials in our room. We have plants, stumps, and everything wherever helps children to be themselves. And yeah,
for me particularly, flight helps me to make sense of my work with children and gives me a purpose. It's not just bringing Play-Doh for bringing Play-Doh. It's bringing materials or providing experiences for the children with a real purpose. Maybe where I'm working on their fine motor skills or personal skills or different stuff that we can work with the same material. The flight curriculum for me is a really good tool to show families that their children are capable of doing more than what they think. Right? Because sometimes they just think they just come here and play for a few hours and then they just go home. But by showing them with evidence of like, when your children does this, he develops these skills, and according to Flight, he's also developing this and this and this. So that way they're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like they're not just playing, they're learning, they are developing skills, they are like growing, they're working on developing their personalities and their character and all of that. So I feel like it's a very useful tool for us to show them how our work is with children here.
As a center, we start off with the image of the child. So that's where we start our journey with Flight. I start my journey with Flight as a mentor in the image of the educator. So it's parallel to what they're doing as to what I'm doing. So I work with the educators individually and in a team to really dig into what our values are as a center, our mission and vision statement, and how that ties into Flight.
So we've been working with the framework for many years now, and we've been very fortunate to have that experience of working with the framework. We have a lot of planning time outside of the room that we can really work on the co-inquiry cycle together. We have time with other educators in the field, not just in our center, to really kind of explore how that can look. Really, as an organization, we really see the value in Flight, and we see how educators benefit from having that planning time. So I think the planning time is huge. It's not just a staff meeting to us, it's where we get to actually have those conversations that look into the image of the child, look into the holistic goals, look into what a child as a citizen means to us. And so just having that opportunity to really sit and talk with our co-educators that we work with every day has been, it's just been such a beautiful experience for us.
Flight has strengthened our work with children and families and educators in so many ways. It's okay to be going on a journey where you don't know where the path will end, but it's important to be walking along with people that sort of have the same vision. We figure things out together.
It's not something that you learn everything right away, and it's okay to dig deeper into those pieces that are really important to you or that are resonating with you. And it's okay to take your time. And I think that other educators who might just be starting out with Flight, I think it would be really important for them to know.
For me, it's an awesome tool to guide me through my work with children. Particularly, Flight helps me to make sense of my work with children, and all the ideas that I might have, just try to make them more concrete and make them make sense for the families and for the children.
I love writing learning stories for children and documenting their, play experiences. And I love to, how we investigate their learning with the help of dispositions and holistic goals.
It's a never-ending journey of learning. I've been engaged with Flight since the very beginning, since before it was Flight. And I never, ever stop learning. It's always something new. It's each time I read it, I peel back another layer and I dig deeper. And that's made me a better mentor.